welcome. My name is Vera Blagev. I'm a London-based, nature-inspired abstract artist. Welcome to my art studio, Wimbledon Art Studios. I wanted to take a chance to do a couple of minutes video to welcome you to me and my work. And if you've never heard of me before and you've never seen my work, I just wanted to maybe show you a little bit about what I do and why I do it and my influences and inspirations. So if you don't know much about me, you can probably tell by the accent that I spent quite a lot of time in the US. I spent almost 20 years in the US. And then before that, my childhood and where I was born was in Bulgaria. So in a way, my background is combining both of those influences, and now I've been in London for about 10 years. So obviously that has its own stamp on me as a person and me and my artwork. But really, over the past kind of 15 years, I've been doing art more or less professionally. Back in the US about 15 years ago, I was exhibiting some work with pencil and colored pastel. And these days, after sort of having transitioning from countries, from the US to the UK, and being introduced to new media, exploring new media, these days I have two dominant ways of working. One is with inks on watercolor paper. You can see this is an example of that work. This is an example, this weaving is also an example of that work. And it's liquid acrylic ink and calligraphy ink with lots of different textures and techniques on watercolor paper. So that is one of the ways that I normally work in. And then the other way, you can maybe see some of these big canvases around me, that is my acrylic on canvas work. And some of that also incorporates other influences as well. I sometimes do some stitching, like actual textile stitching on the canvas. I sometimes incorporate other elements in addition to just the pure acrylic paint, maybe you can see here. So that is why I classify myself as a mixed media artist. You can see a lot of my work, even though I work in two different sort of categories, a lot of my work has this common thread of nature. I love being surrounded by flowers. I love hiking, walking, just being in nature. I think it's that sense of calmness, sense of awe, that it's just that connection to nature and to something bigger than yourself always just gives me such huge comfort and joy that really, whether it's more abstract work like this, or whether it's more representational work like this floral or this tulip in a vase, throughout all my works, I think nature really comes through as an inspiration and influence. And particularly the colors and the textures of nature. That's something that I'm very, very concerned with. I always am looking to add more interest in my work. More interest in terms of the color gradients, the way the colors interact with each other, the different color combinations. Interest in terms of the textures and details. I always want to keep the viewer interested, to keep the eye moving, to make sure that there is something else to look at. The other, I suppose, common thread that I've heard from other people who've told me over the years is that they find my work to be very happy and very beautiful and just very joyful and uplifting. And that is definitely not an accident. That is my intention as an artist. Starting out sort of years ago, like many artists, I was still trying to figure out what my voice is and what I wanted to show and what I wanted to express, and I figured out quite quickly that life is hard enough. I didn't want to create art that was dark and heavy. I wanted to create art that was happy and colorful and uplifting and beautiful. Fundamentally, I wanted to create art that people really want to look at again and again. And art that for me, as the artist, as the person creating this artwork, would be happy to make, would be joyful to make. Like I say, there's other artists who do sort of more darker, I suppose maybe introspective, kind of radical work, and that's for them to do. For me, my sort of purpose in life really is to create some beauty and to put that beauty that hopefully uplifts people and brings them joy out into the world. The other aspect in terms of what I do is, you can see here I'm in my studio. I'm in the Wimbledon Art Studios. I moved in about 2 years ago. And at the end of last year, 2017, I upgraded studio. So this is a slightly larger studio than I had before. And really that has been a transition for me over the past few years. When I moved from the US to the UK, I took a few years off of creating artwork. Part of it was I wanted to figure out what I was doing with my life, with my career, and what I really wanted art to be. And then about 5 years ago, I decided that really I do actually want art to be the dominant force of my life. I want to make artwork, to talk about artwork, to exhibit and sell artwork. And about sort of, like I say, 5 years ago, I made that decision for myself. And then that slowly started a process of always adding more art, always adding more time to dedicate to my craft. Last year, 2017, was quite a big year for me. It was a big transition. It was when I went from being effectively a full-time artist with another full-time job into just being a full-time artist, which is amazing. You might imagine that when you're juggling multiple jobs, as some of you might be, you're never quite 100% anywhere. You're always sort of juggling different priorities and different sort of obligations. But as of last year, like I say, I was able to dedicate myself to my artwork full time. It's been absolutely amazing to have so much more time and freedom and just emotional and mental space to explore and create and to do videos like these and to share with you and to connect with people. For 2018, I've started a series of weekly videos where every week I do 1 or 2 videos and I upload them on YouTube and Facebook. Where the idea is that I show a little bit about myself, a little bit about my artwork, why I do the art that I do, what techniques am I using, what materials, my inspiration, be it being in nature, be it travel, which is always also a key bit for me. I've been to over 50 countries. I've been lucky enough to be there. So really all that is a combination of who I am as an artist. It's not just a matter of, mechanically creating new work. As an artist, I think your life is much fuller than physically making work. It has to be. It has to be. There needs to be the passion, the inspiration, the drive, and that doesn't come from just being in the art studio and producing work. That comes from experiencing life and experiencing whatever drives you, whatever gives you passion, whatever gives you joy. And like I say, for me, that is nature. You might find that funny considering that I live in London, but actually London's quite a green space. You have lots of parks and commons, and Wimbledon Common and Richmond Parks are just a couple of examples that are local to me. And there's a huge gardening tradition in the UK, which I absolutely love. I have lots of houseplants and I have my back garden as well. So that's a little bit about me and what I do. In terms of when you can connect with me or how you can connect and learn more, I'm on on the website, on the internet. I have my own website, and it's veraveraonthewall.com. A bit like mirror, mirror on the wall, but with Vera. So that is my website where I have everything. That's basically my home on the net. I have all my social media links. If you love your social media, I pretty much do everything. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LO, YouTube, and I'm always Vera on the wall, but like I say, you can always find those links on my website. And my website is also an e-commerce enabled shop where I include some of my work and my artworks that are available for purchase. And if you want to connect with me in real life, really the best way is to the Wimbledon Art Studios. In addition to the Wimbledon Art Studios, where you can come and make an appointment to see my studio, they also do an sort of twice a year annual show that I participate in. And then in addition to that, of course, I do other events, art fairs, art pop-up events, art exhibitions, on an as-going basis, I suppose. And I always update my website and my social media for all that. So I think that's it from me from today. Like I say, I will be doing this weekly video series, but really for now, I just wanted to say welcome. If we've never met in person, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. If we have met in person, thank you as well. And I hope that you've learned something a little bit about me and my background and my work. And over the next few weeks, hopefully you'll learn a bit more. And if you have any questions, I'd love to hear them. Or if there's anything in particular that you're particularly interested in, please let me know, whether it's through email or social media, what have you. Thank you so much for watching. And again, welcome from Vera, London-based, nature-inspired abstract artist. Bye!